We uploaded a VSL to YouTube, and it's been making 40K a month in pure profit. I learned this script from Iman Ghazi's personal CMO, Louis Berger, and it sells so seamlessly that nobody even realizes that it's a pitch until the very end of every single video, which is why it grows on YouTube so organically and gets us clients passively at $0 per lead. So here's our YouTube VSL script. It grows our businesses passively. When you have written your headline, you've spent 80 cents of your advertising dollar. That is a quote by David Ogilvy, the man behind the marketing strategies for Dove, Rolls-Royce, Amex, and Shell. It consists of hook, method, tease, setup. This YouTube channel has made me over $2 million in ad revenue, is a very simple credibility hook. The VSL that I'm showing you is a VSL for a coaching business, for a coaching offer in which we coach people to make money with faceless YouTube. And we get to the next one, which is the method tease. The method tease is basically teasing the method. And the way that you tease the method is through two ways. Either you promote for results or you make the mouse a bigger, scarier mouse. But the problem that we're trying to solve, we are going to make that problem seem way worse, way more detrimental, and we will outline not only the first-hand but the second-hand consequences of not solving this problem so that people actually want to watch the video until the end. So it's either the love towards something or the fear of something. But on top of the ad revenue, I have 6 other income streams that are making me money from this channel. For example, sponsors, an additional $2 million a month, so I made well over $4 million. The crazy part is that I only work an hour a day on my channels, but that's why I wanted to make this video. So what are we doing? We're building intrigue for the love towards something, which is making $4 million with an hour a day. And then we get to the setup. So that's why in this video, I'm going to show you what I post, how I get these videos made without me, and how I scale this faceless channel, not only to a full-time income, but to real location and time freedom by following what I like to call the Henry Ford model, and how you too can create your own faceless channels that make you an additional income, even if you're not creative and even if you've never made a video before. Now, all of this is great and we've built a lot of intrigue, but no matter how much intrigue we build, the most important part is actually to learn how to build so much credibility so that people actually believe what we have to teach them. So usually when we design a VSL, we will qualify these people within the first few seconds because of Facebook pixels, for example, and we don't want the wrong people to funnel through the video and book our calls and annoy our sales reps. In this case, it's the other way around. We're not qualifying the first few seconds. We're qualifying at the end of the video, because if we don't qualify at the end of the video, your graph of your attention time will look like this, and a bunch of people will fall off immediately, and YouTube will not push your video to more people. Now, what I would recommend is that you go over this YouTube VSL script with me one by one whilst I talk about it. If you want to have access to the YouTube VSL script, DM me YSL on Instagram and it will send you the VSL script immediately, automatically. If you click on the first link in the description below this video, it will lead you directly to my Instagram account. Now we get into credibility. And this channel right here is not just some one-off fluke, by the way. I've got this channel over here that's made me over $83,000 in just ad revenue alone. I've launched my own brand. I've got this channel where I was able to make my full-time income on the very first upload. I made $93,000 with this video, and I could show you a ton of more impressive results like this that I've achieved with this system. Now, what you must understand is that we're currently in a time of a trust recession. Trust from person to person is at an all-time low, which is why we actually every single time integrate something into a VSL that we call a but clause, to eliminate all doubts and suspicion people could have of us. But I do not want you to assume that this is some magic pill that will allow you to make like $100,000 per month in a few weeks by posting really bad AI slop videos. But what I can promise you is that this is the exact system that allowed me to start with zero experience and get to 20K a month in no more than a few months. A but clause is basically very simple psychologically. So whenever you are vulnerable towards a person will trust you more, right? It's like opening up towards people and sharing information about yourself. You're just going to be closed off and be the guy in the club who's always just looking pissed and just stands in the corner, nods to the music, but actually talks to nobody because he tries to look strong, but he's actually just fucking scared of saying hello to a girl. Nobody will actually like you and nobody will want to talk to you. And the same as in marketing. If you never show vulnerability and you never share anything bad about your product, people won't believe you. So the best way to integrate vulnerability is that whenever we make a big claim, which in this case is get to 20K a month in no more than a few months, we only introduce such big claims by first introducing something before the but that makes us vulnerable, by saying this is not some magic pill that will allow you to make like 100K a month in a few weeks, but you can make 20K a month within a few months. The next part is an Epiphany Bridge. The Epiphany Bridge is a framework that was built upon the framework of every single successful Hollywood movie that you've seen. Star Wars, Cars, basically every Pixar and Disney movie, and a bunch of other movies that you've seen. Even the new F1 movie has been written on this exact framework. And it starts with a backstory. The purpose of a backstory is actually quite simple, and that is just to build relatability. The biggest problem why people will not buy from you is because of one single objection only, every single time. I am different. I have different genetics. I have different metabolism. I have a different niche. I have a different business. I have a different offer. I am a different person, and I have different conditions. Is going to be the most. You have encountered these objections, haven't you? And the best way to build it is to build a backstory that is relatable to their exact problems, so that they lose that objection and they realize, oh no, he's exactly like me, and he has gotten results. So the backstory is, I was doing everything myself. I was making good money, but I was just working way too much. I was not working a 9 to 5. I was trying to escape the 9 to 5, but I was actually getting to working 24/7. And that wasn't enjoyable. I was always working literally 8 to 12 hours per day. We are here, our niche, are professional 9 to 5 workers, which means people who are working 8 to 12 hours a day. Doctors, engineers, IT engineers, etc., etc. But then one day, out of the blue, on November 15th, 2020, I get this email out of the blue. Hi, I'm the president of Jordan Belfort's Corporations. I'm very impressed with your videos. Please let me know if you have a few minutes to chat today. This is the Epiphany moment. The importance of the Epiphany moment is to give people a story on how you discovered the bridge that solved all your problems. If you're going to be able to do that and convey a very inspirational story, people are going to be more prone to actually believing what you have to say. So here he basically outlines the story of how he has experienced meeting the president of Jordan Belfort's company, who explained to him the solution to his problem of working every single day, which is that McDonald's, for example, has this assembly line where the owner of McDonald's doesn't actually package any burgers, but he basically just gives it to other people who do it for them, and they have this very simple step. I used to work at McDonald's, by the way, and when I worked at McDonald's, it was a very simple assembly line, right? There was somebody who put the patty into the bread, and there was somebody else who put the sauces on, and then I put the packaging on, and then I put it there, and I gave it to the people, and then somebody else packaged it into the Happy Meal boxes, and he gave it to the people. So it was a very simple assembly line, and that is what we're explaining here. By the way, it was horrible to work at McDonald's, bro. I can still remember it until this day. Beep, 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 beep. And then we get to doubts. Doubts is probably one of the most important parts inside the Epiphany Bridge, because people will have doubts, aka objections, and we need to pre-handle them by putting us into their shoes and saying, hey, here were actually the reasons why I was afraid to go ahead with this method, right? How much is it going to cost? What if people cannot make better videos than me? How am I going to find these people? But obviously this guy knew more than me, so I actually needed to swallow my pride and set out to do what he said. I settled to create a brand new user system where I didn't have to make the videos myself. And the next part is the bridge. The bridge is basically where we present the method. The bridge that got us from where we are to where we want to get. And whenever we present a method, whether you use the Epiphany Bridge or you don't use the Epiphany Bridge, you don't need to. We just do it because it's a YouTube VSL and it's nice to tell a story and have some retention inside the video. But whenever you present a method, you can always use the exact same framework. Component of the method, benefit of the component, results achieved with the components, with the results being optional. Sounds a bit complicated, so let me explain it to you and actually show you a really good example. Step 1, right? That is basically component 1. This principle is the hot dog stand principle. This principle lets you go into any niche and make money with less effort. The channel idea you pick is one of the most important factors on YouTube. By having the right channel, you get channel idea, you get more views with way less effort and make more money with way less effort. What's the difference between a hot dog stand in the woods versus one in a crowded stadium? One in the woods fights an impossible battle for attention. The stadium gets tons of attention automatically. Most beginners start channels in the woods, find gaps in the marketplace, giant demand, zero supply. So what are we doing? We are naming the component here. We are naming the benefits as well. More views, way less effort, make more money with way less effort. And then we show the results. This was the channel name that I blurred. The alternative house space was blowing up if there was no quality faceless channel making videos about it. That's why I grew so fast. I found success with 3 separate channels because I found ideas like a hot dog stand in a super crowded stadium. And then we do the same thing in step 2 by again naming the assembly line and explaining it, how it works, meaning the components, and then getting into the benefits. Way more affordable and scalable than having one expert, cut production time, way cheaper, all those can be outsourced, And then again, affordable, scalable, and way faster than doing everything yourself. Again, results here are optional, but always have a component with a benefit of a component. Nobody gives a fuck about your method. People only care about what they get, and what they get is the result. So always be very results-based. What benefit do they get that is going to get them the result that you promised at the beginning of your VSL? And when you do the same in step 3, you get the point. The last step is the payoff, to make people understand what you got. 84,000 in a single month, 127K, 134K, almost 200K. I was literally making almost 10 times more money from $20,000 per month all the way up to $200,000 a month. During the payoff, you can do 2 things. The first one are the external ones, which is external victory, meaning metrics, right? I lost this amount of weight, I made this amount of money, I got this amount of clients. And then you have the internal victory. The internal victory is, it depends, bro. If you're gonna have a VSL selling to rich people, they probably do not give a about your internal victories, and I really don't care. I just want to see what numbers you got and what you could achieve. If you're gonna have a B2C product, like for example this one, where people are more emotional in buying, well, everyone buys emotionally, but whenever rich people spot it, they get really pissed. But these people don't, they don't get it. They don't realize that they're emotionally being sold to. So you can do the internal victories, and it's just gonna get you a lot of money. It's gonna help you a lot if you actually outline the internal victories. So that's like retiring my parents, buying them a new house. This is the picture of us with a new construction house I bought them. Escape the 9-to-5 grind, stop missing moments with your family, etc., etc. 5, selling the product. So that's why I wanted to give you a way to get my direct help here in my entire system that I've refined over the years, so you don't have to guess or waste money on the wrong moves. What is the framework for selling the product? Actually, the exact same framework that we use for the method, just that we leave out the results because we've named enough results. What we do instead is literally just product component, benefit, product component, benefit, product component, benefit. I give you all my templates for the assembly line, product, benefit, so you avoid wasting time, money, and energy on videos that are poorly executed. Second component, I share my system for finding the best performing ideas, benefit, so you avoid investing time and money into ideas that were never going to go viral. And again, you get full direct access to my team members, right? Component. Another component, we do weekly live group calls, and we get to the benefits because we make sure you get every part of the assembly line correct, so you're not wasting time or money. That's how I got my clients get to their one big video within a few uploads instead of a few years. Here's what we see as the part afterwards. Once you presented the product, you can have like a quick outline of results that you got to people. Again, especially if you're in business and it's a business offer, it's really good to always have these results over and over again and show it over and over again, not just showing the product. So you don't need to go product component, benefit, result, product component, benefit, result, but product component, benefit, product component, benefit, product component, benefit, product component, benefit, result, 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 result. Step 6 is the call to action. Very simple. If you're interested in this and you would like to see what we can achieve together, click the first link in the description below. If you still have spots open, it will take you to a page where you can fill out a quick form. And if you are, you can schedule a meeting with one of my professional advisors where they're going to walk you through how we can clone my system with you. Whenever you want somebody to take action on something, the reason why they don't take action is because they are too afraid of the risk of booking a sales call. What's way better is to always minimize the risk and maximize the payoff. How do we minimize the risk and maximize the payoff? Well, by explaining exactly what is going to happen on this call. Let's say that we minimize the risk by talking about the risk. You can schedule a meeting with one of our professional advisors where they're going to walk you through how we can clone my system with you. So we minimize the risk by explaining to people, we're just going to walk you through how we can clone my system with you, and we maximize it by basically mentioning what we're doing, which is to clone the system with you. This is a very short example, but we can even go so far as to say, hey, so once you get on the call, what's going to happen is we're going to walk you through the entire system. Either you're going to end up working with us and you're going to end up joining the program, or you're not going to join, but at least you're going to walk away with an exact blueprint on how to execute on the system on your own. So it's like, okay, risk is you get on the call and you get an entire system completely for free. Benefit, you join the program. 6, objections. You don't need to pre-handle new objections here. These are basically just the most common objections that you handle again. Yes, you can repeat yourself. People forget things very often, and people need to be reminded more often than they need to be taught. And one of the most common objections is just that people think that they won't have the right ideas. So we're here showing them. On top of that, I'm going to give you 100 vetted ideas right here. Step 7 is a second call to action. So if any of that interests you, click the first link below that I put at the top of the video description, and I look forward to discussing your video ideas with you. Now, if you want the full script of this YouTube VSL, including the notes I made and the link to the original video to use it as a template, you can get it by DMing me VSL on Instagram. If you click on the first link in the description below this video, it will lead you to my Instagram account. Now, I've written hundreds of VSLs, but one VSL generated $125,000 a month. I'm really proud of it, and that VSL script is broken down in this video above. Enjoy.